Hello and welcome to Always with Awareness. I'm Awa Lodmell.
And I'm Douglas Lodmell. And today we want to talk about relationships again. So this is something we're just going to keep coming back to because there's really no end to it. I mean, if there's one thing in our lives that is responsible for the most growth, it's our relationships. So with everyone, with our spouses, with our parents, with our children, with our friends, with our coworkers, with our clients, with everybody in our life, it's relationships. That's what it is.
Even with the animals.
Yeah, and even with our animals. Yeah.
Right.
So, because we are living in relation. And actually, it's so funny. These horses are teaching me so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The more I'm learning about the horses, because the relationship that they have with the world is so based around who they are as a prey animal.
Yes.
And I didn't understand that. As a herd animal and a prey animal, that's such a huge thing in understanding everything that they do.
Tell me more. I mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, because we're not prey animals.
That's
we're predators, right?
Yes.
We're at the top of the food chain. We don't really have anyone to fear. I mean, maybe a tiger if you're walking alone somewhere, but for the most part, everything else needs to fear us, right? We're not the ones afraid. And yet for a horse, they are prey animals. They are not predators. They eat grass, they graze, and they are constantly in a state of, am I safe?
Yeah.
Am I safe? And that feeling of am I safe defines everything. And just seeing how as I learn how they act and interact, how they rely on each other. I mean, we have these two horses out there right now.
Yeah.
And to see a horse lay down on its side to go to sleep, it's not very common. I mean, our neighbor who's had horses forever is just like, I don't ever see that. It means that they're really, really comfortable. And last night, well, one of them is laying down all the time now. Spirit is like, I don't know what's going on with him. He's just like, I'm chill, I'm good, I'm safe here. I'm going to just take a nap.
Yeah.
And Callie,
And it's because something happened.
well, we changed
something.
We changed something. And all of a sudden, they relaxed massively. And so we were feeding them twice a day, like every other horse person that we've ever seen. You feed them in the morning, you maybe give them some grain at lunch, and then you feed them at night. And believe me, by dinner time, they are letting you know, hey, they're kicking the stall. They're very loud. They're like, hey, get
Anxious.
here with my food.
Anxious.
They're very anxious. They're very stressed. I never really noticed how stressed they were. And our friend said, I'm taking a class and they're talking about that's not the way horses live in the wild. They eat 18 hours a day. They need to not be in that stressed scarcity mentality around food.
Right. Yeah.
Just put all the food out. And so we did. We put all the food out in bags hanging all around the arena. And those bags are full.
Yes.
And it didn't take 24 hours for them to just go, oh, food is not our issue. And Spirit just went boom.
They were
and
relaxed.
Callie too.
They were relaxed.
And then I saw Callie do the same thing. And I'm like, I've never seen them do that. We've had them for years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them lay down until we relieved their anxiety and stress. And so that is teaching me about human relationships. Because I see that people also live in a lot of anxiety and stress all the time.
Wow.
And when you're in anxiety and stress constantly with your relationships, especially your closest relationships, especially your spouse, that one, if you're in anxiety and stress around your spouse, when my spouse gets home, what's it going to be like? Is it going to be a good mood? Is it going to be a bad mood? Do we have a good day? Are we that you can't relax. You can't even be communicating fully, and you certainly can't be growing together if that's the way you're living.
I mean, you just got me with the horses example.
Yeah.
And to bring that because they're reflection. Everything is a reflection of us, right? You get to live it with them. Just for that little change, right? They're showing us if there is no anxiety in my life, I can relax. And what I personally experienced with them this week is instead of running away when you're coming to them, they come to you. You know, you don't have to call them. They're coming to you. But we're having this conversation, but there's something that I didn't share with you earlier is today I went to do my hair, and my friend who does my hair, we had a conversation, and this reminded me of the conversation we had. Because she shared with me when I came, she said, I'm anxious. I'm not okay. I'm not okay in my marriage. And I said, why? She's like, I don't know. I said, you don't know? Can you share something? She's like, nothing I can share. I mean, I don't even remember. To this point, the anxiety, where you live in the blur, when you don't even know what happened. You just know you're not okay, and he's not okay. I had to dial it back. And I said, okay, when was the last thing that happened then? And she said, this morning. I'm like, okay, what happened this morning? Over washing dishes. Okay, what happened with the dishes? I mean, it's almost like you have to dig deep to know how silly the things that making us sabotage our lives. I'm like, okay, so I'm following. Okay, washing dishes, what was it? She's like, I didn't wash the dishes last night. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, he was pissed then, you didn't. I said, then what happened? She's like, well, then this morning he's going to wash the dishes. I'm like, okay. And then I told her, don't wash the dishes. You don't have to do it. Just do something else. I'm like, okay. Then what happened? Well, he looked at me, didn't say anything, but I'm sure he was pissed. I said, okay, but why did you do that? She's like, well, I didn't do anything. I was going to wash the dishes. I'm like, well, then where is the problem? Well, this is the problem. The problem is that there is no problem. I said, you're the only person that I know that the husband is going down to wash the dishes and you have a problem with that. Then there must be something else. And this is the something else. When we don't address our problem, we make it somebody else's problem. I don't have to share what was her problem. She got it. And that followed with what we were talking earlier. The one with the problem needs to take care of the problem.
Yeah.
And she realized that she has a problem that she cannot identify, which most of us can agree with that. Having a problem, not even knowing why we have a problem. Can be hormonal, whatever it is. Whatever it is, if you wake up in the morning and your partner washing the dishes or not washing the dishes is a problem, you have a bigger problem.
You have a bigger problem.
Really.
I'm glad you don't tell me not to wash the dishes, by the way. I love washing the dishes. Anytime I see a dish, I'm going to wash it.
Exactly. If you wake up in the morning and your partner not making the bed or making the bed is a problem, you have a bigger problem. Where I want to go with this is, if the little things in life that somebody can miss to do, you cannot kindly ask or laugh about it, and you're making a problem where now you are really asking yourself if you should stay in the marriage, you have a problem.
Yeah.
So I shared with her, I said, well, what would you like instead? just go in your mind and design the man you would like to have and see if that man would want to be with you. As simple as that. Go in your head and design the woman you will want and see if that woman will want to be with you.
That is such a good way to look at it.
I mean, look at it.
I mean, we're all looking for this perfect mate, but we're not asking ourselves, would this one that I'm looking for want this one that has all the anxiety, all the problems, problem with everything?
I know.
Doesn't do all the things. I mean, it's like...
And we end up having, this work that we're doing, this work that we're doing with you guys is amazing. I mean, it's beautiful. Believe me, like anybody, sometimes we just go like, does anybody even listening? Well, today, she told me, not only I'm listening, but don't ever stop. And I'm not saying this from an ego standpoint, thinking, oh, well, I'm important here. I'm helping somebody. No, I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
To see people wanting to change their life for better. She called the husband. She's going to make it happen. The other one that we shared today is another friend of ours who went to Costa Rica with a friend. Send us this text and say, I went to Costa Rica with a girlfriend of mine, not being aware at all that she wanted that time together just so she can find the strength to divorce her husband. And after watching our podcast
On divorce.
on divorce, you would think she would want to go and run and have a divorce. No, she's running to fix her marriage. Just to tell again and again how sometimes we waste so much time not being grateful, not being nourishing to ourselves. Forget about somebody else. You cannot nourish your husband, your partner, your wife, your kids, if you yourself, you're lacking nourishment. And there is a part of you that no one can nourish but you. Doesn't matter who you are. And if you come from a place of lack, which we talk about it with today with her, she's like, I would love my husband to touch me, to hold me. And I say, okay, so you're lacking touches and hugs. She's like, yes, I will want him to do it. I said, do you do it? She's like, no. I said, remember, from a place of lack, God doesn't know lack. So she can't have you, somebody come give you hugs because you're lacking hugs. He can only give you more hugs the more you give hugs. And she said, wow, I got that from church. I can see that in my financial, but I never seen that in my relationships. Rumi said it, whatever you're lacking, you're thinking you don't have, see if you're giving it. Because those two cannot live in the same mind. So, this thing we call relationship with the partner has to start with ourselves.
Oh, it's only ourselves that we're having a relationship with.
Exactly.
We're having a relationship with the projection of what we think, and that partner is playing the role for us.
Oh, a
but
beautiful
it is just us, which reminds me of, when I was before I met you, when I was divorced, in between, in a state of kind of not clear what I wanted, I realized that it was my time to work on me, and that's what I turned to.
Yeah.
I actually didn't start working on who I wanted in my life. I didn't write a list of what I wanted you to be. I didn't do anything. I realized that something was going on with me, that I wasn't happy. I wasn't in a place of clarity. I didn't know what I wanted for me, not in a relationship. And it's funny because those years, those intervening years, 5 or 6 or 7 years in there, I did so many seminars and workshops and breath work and integral training and all these things. I listened to Course in Miracles 25 times, nonstop, day and night. I mean, I just kept working on me, realizing that when I'm that person, that whoever I can imagine being with, I got to be that person that they want to be with.
That's right.
And then, of course, you show up, and I'm like, oh, shit. Come on now, God, that was a little much. Like really?
Right? But, yeah, it's just, it's beautiful. And this is an invitation, because I know so many of us are self-sabotaging our relationship, are looking at details that makes you just run away. Whatever your problem is, please look at it. Don't be afraid. Fix it. Share. Be vulnerable. I even tell her, I said, what are you going to do? Is your mind telling you right now that you can call your husband and say, I'm sorry? She's like, how do you know?
Yeah.
That's how much that ego of us, how strong, how he has us. Your husband, out of the 6 billion men, you choose one, bring him home, to be so full of shit that you can't say, I'm sorry? Because you feeling like you're gonna win something or lose something? So, again, why do you want to be in a relationship? It's definitely not to add something to you. Nobody can add anything.
No.
Unless you're ready to receive.
Yeah. Again, it's all back to you. It's all back to us.
Yeah.
We're working on us, for us, and the people that show up in our lives, whoever they are, but definitely your spouse or your partner, they're there solely for you, and you're there for them. But when they show up in your life, just know you called for them, you asked for it. It is literally showing up as you designed. So if it's not a pleasant experience, or you're not thinking that you're getting what you want, just ask yourself, then why is this showing up? Why is this person that I don't want showing up?
Yeah.
Why do I keep attracting the people I don't want?
Right.
Because you still need to get something from that. And until you take responsibility for that and say, okay, well, gosh, this is me. I keep doing this to myself. I keep attracting the same profile person that is not what I want.
Yeah.
What am I getting from this? Until you address it and look inside to figure out what you're getting from it, you're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
And again, there's sabotaging yourself because you think you need somebody submissive. I talk about it with him today, with her today. And I said, really, what do you want? Because I know, as a woman, I have yet met a woman who wants a man who doesn't stand for anything. Why do we want to beat the hell out of them? Do you want a gelding in the man, or do you want the stallion that is nice? But when you want the stallion, you want it there. You know? So, and she recognized her pattern of wanting to just beat the hell out of him for nothing, with the tone of voice, with the disrespect. And I said, but how does it work? Because if you don't have any consideration for somebody, no respect, and you beat them, how do you make love to them? Because I don't know how it works.
What did she say?
It's like, you're so right.
So she's making love in that same resistance.
Which in my book, that's not called making love. Yeah. And we talked about that too, by the way. Mm-hmm. I said, because I want to know, are you making love? She's like, not much. I said, okay, well, how much is not much? She said, okay, once a week. I said, wow, that's good. Between the day you do it to the next day, if it's making love, there is no time for fighting. Mm-hmm. Really. Because if you're so present in the making love, and if it's genuine, and if you won, and if you're praying for each other in that moment, if you're celebrating each other in your lives, believe me, it lasts more than 7 days of fun, of joy, of laughing, of playfulness.
Yeah.
When is the mood coming back where you're fighting him already?
Right away.
I mean, really.
So it's not making love. It's just sex.
And she just realized that. She's like, oh my God, I wasn't making love. I was just having sex.
Yeah.
That's big.
It's big.
And this is for us, again. What is it about us that doesn't deserve making love? Why we don't deserve it?
Well, I deserve it. I'm not accepting less.
You know? So I'm sure we'll go deeper. Hopefully you have a lot of questions, or this really hits home, because it sure did for her and for myself. But this thing we call relationship, we have to go deeper.
Well, it's what we recently talked about on the other podcast, the other show about quality. Right? So it's
versus
not
quantity.
So what you brought up, making love, it's far more about quality than quantity. When you're young, maybe quantity mattered a lot more, but believe me, it's quality. It's connection in a relationship. So if you're making love and the connection is strengthened and you're more open to the divine in that process, it lasts. It's not.
And they become quantity again.
Yeah, and then the quantity is
calls for quantity again.
Cause for quantity because the quality is so high, but not in a sense of you know.
Fill up time during the week.
You're not meaning a quota, you know. And so life in the end is about quality. And I can tell you, people who live a good life, live a life well lived, if we can find those examples out there, I can tell you for sure it's about quality. It's not about quantity.
Yeah.
You know, we all want quality.
Absolutely.
We replace it with quantity, right? We just replace it with more.
Yeah.
So the buffet of a lot of food is going to have to suffice because there's not any of it's good, right? It's all bad food, but there's a lot of it, so I guess we're just going to be happy with that.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
So again, these are questions we all should ask ourselves, and it's about self-sabotaging. Are you making love? Or are you having sex? Are you wanting a stallion that loves you, that you can trust? Or do you need to beat your man to a nothing for you to feel irrelevant? Are you asking yourself, do I really have a problem? Is my life just details of who's doing who? And if anything you have a problem with, the one with the problem should fix the problem. Doesn't matter how you're going to fix it. Because you deserve it. That life that you want, you deserve it. And it's not going to happen without you. It's just not going to happen. You will have to be in it. But this one can't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because the one you want will not want you.
No.
You have to move something here. And maybe while you're moving it, you falling in love again with the one you with, who's been waiting. And sometimes it's so funny. If you just realize that they're there holding a space for you, somewhere you need to rise up to. And I can see it for her. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call her D, actually. D, my friend D, who did my hair. So D has it in her. And she just could feel that the man is such a fan of her. By the way, met her through him. I'm walking, he's running after me on the street to introduce me to his wife and say, he's such a fan of his wife.
Wow.
But she needed to be reminded that she has it all already. And sometimes we have to really look into ourselves. And like I said earlier, sometimes it's not even you. You're going through something in your childhood, a low self-esteem. You don't feel like you're enough, but you never really ask yourself that. Do I really think most of the time that I'm not enough? That's a question to ask. Is that why I am so much in competition with everything and everybody?
I think the answer for a lot of people is yeah. I think there's a deep-seated sense that we're not enough.
Yeah.
I think that's a pervasive human feeling. I do. I think that's probably the norm. And so virtually everybody is compensating in some way. They're either trying too hard or harder and harder and they just keep going, or they're shrinking back into, the victim of I'm not enough and but rarely do we meet people that are self-contained, full, and able to express, and you don't have the sense that there's that self-doubt, that self, trying to compensate.
Yeah.
It's and this is normal. This is all of us. This is everybody.
Yeah.
I can see it in myself when it happens. I can see that moment because remember, we don't grow as one lump of a human. We grow in lines of development that are multiple, and we're growing fast here and slow here, and we're pulling ourselves up, we're pulling each other up, and so all of us have parts of ourselves where that's true. It's just there's a center of gravity to our growth, and that center of gravity is kind of what defines us. That's the part that people, if they were asked to describe us, they would describe our center of gravity. Somebody who knows us really well will describe the nuances of our highs. And someone who loves us and knows us well will probably focus on our best lines of development where we're the strongest. Somebody who knows us and doesn't like us will focus on our lowest lines of development where we're lagging, where we're struggling the most. But most people will describe us as our center of gravity. And I would say the center of gravity of most humans is still a sense of lack around who we are. There's still not a clear sense that, because we live in this water of guilt.
Yes.
it's built into our institutions. Guilt is institutionalized in the human experience in virtually every way you can think of, from our religion to our school system to our education. to our financial system. I mean, it's all built to make you feel guilty all the time. We're in this constant state of, so of course you feel inadequate because guilt is a feeling of inadequacy. Yeah. And so, we're compensating. And so we're either trying to muscle through it and show that, no, I've got this handled, I'm not guilty, while feeling guilty, or we're just wallowing in it, right? We're back into our guilt, or anywhere in between, right?
That's right.
So the self-sabotage matches the guilt.
That's right.
Because it helps validate the way we already feel. And so it's what she's doing, what Dee is doing is just creating the reality that she's already living in, which is feeling guilty.
That's right.
Not enough. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy to beat somebody who is your fan and loves you because you don't feel worthy even of it. Yeah. In fact, the better he is, the more he just keeps forgiving you and doing, and the more it triggers her, which is why her not doing the dishes, she felt guilty.
Oh, absolutely. From not being it the night before,
right.
doing it the night before.
And so when she sees him doing the dishes, that made her feel more guilty and made her want to beat him.
You know what I said? I asked her, I said, but wait a minute. You didn't want, because he does it bad? He's like, oh no, because he does everything better.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, isn't that funny? But just to say, that's why it's so good to be vulnerable with your partner. Mm-hmm. I think that's our forte here.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me this week, actually, do you guys talk about everything? I said, yes, we do. It's like, wow, you're lucky. No, we're not lucky. We make it a thing.
We work on it. No, believe me, that was earned.
Yeah.
We didn't start off talking about everything.
But we make it a thing. If you know Awa and Doug, you know that Awa and Doug have breakfast together every morning by themselves and taking the time to talk. And we talk about everything, Not that it's anything serious, like right now. I mean, nothing serious about what we're talking about. It's just life.
Yeah. Well, it's all serious. Or none of it
or
is.
Not, exactly. Yeah. It's just life. Well, most of the time people say like, wow, it's deep. No, it's not deep. It's life. Mm-hmm. What else to talk about but life? So if you are in that position where you yourself see that you're struggling, be vulnerable. And if you have a partner that you really know deep inside, they're good people, don't mess them up.
Yeah.
Don't mess them up. Share with them. Share where you feel like you're lacking something.
People would be shocked that instead of trying to decide what's going to solve your problem and then manipulating everyone around you to get to that solution, if you just shared your problem, those very same people that you were going to manipulate will bend over backward and move mountains to help you reach your solution, because we want to serve each other. We want to do it. But when you don't share your problem and you just decide, this is how I'm going to solve my problem, and I'm going to manipulate, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the solution I want, you're building a world of resistance for yourself and for everyone around you. And then, believe me, everybody feels it. Everybody feels the manipulation. And then guess what? They don't want to help you.
That's right.
Because nobody wants to be manipulated.
That's right.
So instead, just share your problem. And then trust. Because if they can't help you with your problem, maybe your solution is to not solve that problem at all in the way you think you were supposed to.
That's right.
And with relationships, God, who is better to share your problem with than your partner?
Right.
Even if you think your partner's the problem.
Yeah.
So you could say, honey, I have a problem. Mm-hmm. My problem is I feel this. I feel that this is where we're heading in our relationship. I feel like, the way we're interacting is not supportive of how I want to be.
Yeah, we are.
And just solve it together.
Yes.
And if one person did that, believe me, the other person would be like, wow, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, they may be triggered and they may throw a pot at you, but after they do that, they would find that solution together.
Yeah.
You know?
So, anyway, we have millions of podcasts about relationship to do.
Yeah, we're gonna just keep doing about relationships. So if you have a specific thing you want us to talk about, in this one, it was really the self-sabotage that she was doing.
The self-sabotage that she realized that she's doing, she's like, oh my God, because they just moved here in Arizona and everything is great. They're in the home. They have two amazing boys. They got a great school. I mean, they wanted to be here. Here they are. She wanted to work. She got the job. Everything that can go right is right. And guess what? That's when you have so much room now open where now your old self can come and haunt you. When you were busy worrying about
to get
striving
to
get to what you wanted,
yeah.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Now that you are calm, and it's just like the Ramadan, right? Or like the other monk said, when you're sick, you have one problem. When you're not sick, you have 10 problems, right? Yeah. So it's the same. When you're thriving, you have one problem. When you're not thriving anymore, now you have all the problems.
Yeah.
So watch that mind.
Yeah.
Watch that mind. Give it something to thrive for. And that thing can be just full-on, unconditional love. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good work to give to the mind.
That's a good work to give to the mind.
Damn
How about
good work.
peace, joy, love?
Yes, unconditional love. I'm going to love my partner unconditionally.
What's the harm in trying that anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Really? What's the harm in saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just try something different here. I'm going to love without restrictions. I'm going to be fan. Instead, when I find my husband doing the dishes, after I didn't do it, I'm going to feel the guilt come up, and then I'm going to say thank you, goodbye. Say, honey, I know I can count on you. Thank you.
That's right.
And watch it just shine and
Yeah.
give him a kiss.
Oh.
And that love that you wanted, how about you give it to him right then? And then he's just going to be like, wow, I hope she doesn't do the dishes every night so I get that every morning.
Right? And the other thing I wanted to share, because that was also a breakthrough, is fucking compliment your partners.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with you saying, damn, you handsome baby? What's wrong with you saying, honey, really? I am who I am because of who you are to me. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying, honey, damn, I love you. I wish I was you. Just feeling somebody loving me just the way I'm loving you right now. What's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. Who else? Do you think those sentences are for dogs to say to each other?
Even dog compliments each other.
Really? What's wrong with that? And I said, D, when was the last time you even say anything nice to him? He's like, I don't remember. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. So please, let's pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Be kind to each other. Compliment each other. They do one thing good, run with it.
Yeah, right.
Make it big. Yeah, it is big, by the way, to have a man do your dishes. And I'm sure the feminists in you and me will be like, well, why not? I mean, we're not talking about that. We're talking about complimenting. And by the way, same for your wife. Came home tired and yet give you a beautiful meal. Compliment it. Really. Doesn't kill you.
It's hard. I think people are so used to not that it almost feels like it's some kind of challenge to do it. Like there's a block. I think there's a block in people complimenting. Well,
guess what? It's cultural. It's not from where I'm from. I'm sorry.
And you know what? That's a thing to drop.
It's a thing to drop. Because if you think the whole world is like that,
No.
it's only you. I can tell you, I was raised with a mom that complimented every one of us. Every day you're going to hear either your hair is beautiful or like, God damn, my kids are beautiful. Oh my God. And my husband is handsome. I mean, please. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Well, that was about relationship again,
Yeah.
you know? And if we have to spoon feed it to each other, we will,
Yeah.
you know?
We do.
We do.
But we got it spoon fed. So
That's right.
life will spoon feed you, and
Right.
we're part of it.
I hope you find few answers to your questions, and please share. We want to know you here. We want to know you are growing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The comments help a lot, just to help us know how you feel. So share, compliment us. How about that? We'll take some compliments.
And by the way, for those of you that always send me a message on my WhatsApp, please, please, please do it on the YouTube channel so that you can help other people also comment. Because if I have it direct on my WhatsApp, it serves me a lot. I'm very grateful, but I would love for others to be inspired by your comments.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So thanks for joining us. Relationships and the self-sabotage. Don't do that. And comment, like, subscribe, and share this. Please share this video.
Please do.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.